Hello, and welcome to Hot Routes, where the topics are hot and the takes are hotter. I'm your host, Chris Bagaisi, alongside here with Kyle Williams and Peyton Gallagher. So today our first topic is going to be, what NFL teams do you think are going to have the best chance to go from either worst to first or first to worst?
Well, technically they're not a last place team, but Oakland obviously is a team on the rise. I just thought I'd point them out. Chicago is a very good team. They could jump. I think the 6-10 finish they had last year that brought them into that last in the division spot probably isn't reflective of their talent. The real one though, and on paper they should have been very good last year, but I think they are ready to make that jump now and they're out of Gase, is the Miami Dolphins. Again, another team that finished 6-10, but they got one of the best defensive players in the league in Ndamukong Suh. They've got a blossoming young quarterback in Ryan Tannehill. Weapons all around him now. They got to fill that running back spot, but I think Jay Ajayi can fill in pretty nicely for them. Jarvis Landry, one of the better young receivers in the league. Devontae Parker, they don't know what they're going to get out of him, but if they can get production, could be a good option for him. They bring in Kiko Alonso. They bring in Byron Maxwell, trying to maybe save their careers a little bit. They've got a lot to play for in Miami. I think Miami's definitely a team that in a weaker division maybe can make a push. And without Tom Brady in the first 4 weeks, the Miami Dolphins do face the Patriots. That could be a pivotal game, and they could actually dethrone the Patriots this year.
Okay.
Well, I think it's going to be the Dallas Cowboys. Dallas, they had a string of injuries last year with Tony Romo and Dez Bryant. Tony Romo is probably one of the most irreplaceable quarterbacks in terms of value to his team. Because you saw it with him, when he's healthy, 2 years ago they made the playoffs and could have went further than they did if it wasn't for the catch rule. Well, we still don't know what a catch is, but Tony Romo's back in the fold. You got Dez Bryant. They added Jalen Smith. He's not going to play this year. But then they also got Ezekiel Elliott, who's probably one of the best running backs we've seen since Adrian Peterson. And so I just think, especially in a weak division where the 9-7 Washington Redskins won it, I think that the Dallas Cowboys can go worst to first.
Yeah, and kind of going off what you just said about the Redskins who came in first, they're my pick to go first to worst because, that division has been a toss of the coin for the past number of years. No team has won the division in consecutive years in a long time. And I also think that Washington's still struggling, trying to find who they are as a team. And I also don't like what Kirk Cousins is doing. I mean, he had a great year last year, but I think he's all hype. I don't think he's going to continue.
And just adding on to that, he's holding out right now is what the plan is for him, I think. So that could just add to the distraction with a team that's already dealing with a lot. I know they signed Josh Norman, so that could be big for their defense. Him and Rashad Breeland are going to be good together, I think. But could be a distraction for the offense that could be very hurtful to them. I think the team that's going to go first to worst, the Denver Broncos, clearly. Not only do you lose Peyton Manning, but you lose the quarterback that you've been grooming behind him since you drafted him 4 years ago, I believe, in Brock Osweiler, who got some playing time and looked all right. So now you're looking at starting Mark Sanchez, Trevor Siemian, bet you never heard of him, quarterback out of Northwestern, and your rookie Paxton Lynch, who by all scouts' accounts is 2 years away from being able to start in the NFL. So on top of that, Von Miller, Super Bowl MVP, is planning on holding out. He's cropping John Elway out of photos on Instagram right now and sending subliminal messages to Denver's front office. They lose Danny Trevathan. I think that team is destined for a fall off.
Yeah, 100%. Kyle?
Well, I think Denver's going to take a step back. I don't think they're going to be the worst in the division. They're just too much. I mean, Von Miller is probably one of the best player on that defense, but take him away, add in Shane Ray, their first-round pick from last year, I think they'll be able to at least, their ceiling is probably around 8 wins. My pick is the Washington football team. The Washington football team, Kirk Cousins, he came out of nowhere, replaced RG3, which I think was a mistake. RG3 has more talent in one of his throwing shoulders than Kirk Cousins does in his whole body. And it's just, the offensive line is still a mess. The defense, their linebackers are a problem. Your corners are only good as your front seven, and their front seven is not the best by any stretch of the imagination. So I think they'll be first to worst.
All right, moving on to our next topic. Dark horse rookie of the year candidates, aside from Ezekiel Elliott and Laquan Treadwell, who are probably both real high candidates for offensive rookie of the year.
I think one is Michael Thomas, wide receiver from Ohio State. He never had the production that you would expect from a day 2 draft pick in the NFL. But with Drew Brees, pass-heavy offense, I think we'll see. He's a good route runner. He has not the fastest guy, but he has good top-end speed. And in college, he played behind a run-heavy system in Ohio State. So you never really got to see him get eye-popping numbers like maybe a Sammy Watkins at Clemson. So I think it's going to be Michael Thomas.
And there are a few for me. I think the top of the list, and it doesn't go much further past this, is Robert Kimdichie, probably going into the season. Maybe the number 1 overall pick between him and Joey Bosa. Some off-the-field issues and some production issues, questions about that. Saw him slide to a perfect fit in Arizona. Really think he can make an impact aside Chandler Jones, who they got from New England. 2 great pass rushing options for the Cardinals. I think another one would be, and it's tough because there are so many good rookies in this class, and I really like them, but Corey Coleman is going to see the bulk of the touches in that Browns offense. Now, I know it's a mess, and you can't really trust any Browns players, but if RG3 can stay on the field and complete some passes, you know who they're going to, and that's going to be Corey Coleman, the rookie receiver out of Baylor.
Now, I like Corey Coleman, but now I also feel that he might not win it because the Browns, they're going to be behind in a lot of games. So they're going to be throwing a lot of passes to play catch-up, and I think the voters are going to, disagree with that and then kind of nullify him that, which isn't fair, but that's probably how it's going to
So I think Coleman could be definitely a guy who throws his name into the hat.
Yeah, my pick would probably be Tyler Boyd, who's playing with Cincinnati right now. Drafted out of Pittsburgh. He's going to be the number 2 wide receiver, I believe, in Cincinnati, behind A.J. Green.
Lost Marvin Jones.
Lost Marvin Jones. Tyler Eifert's going to be injured the first few weeks, so I do. Sanu's gone, so I do see Tyler Boyd getting at least maybe 5 to 6 targets or catches minimum per game, which
I
should lead
think
to
that's
him.
definitely fair.
And that's all we have today on Hot Routes. Thank you. See you next time.